Hey guys, I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm going to be starting a new series called Pins Tried on Pinterest. Now I know some of you love Pinterest as I do. There's so many creative ideas that you can try, but sometimes you just get overwhelmed by everything that's on there, especially when you go and you look for one specific thing, but then you find something else and you say, oh, I can do that. And then you completely go off tangents from the one specific thing that you wanted to do. So I'm here today for those of you who feel overwhelmed. Today's pin try is very inexpensive. I will show you everything that you need for under $10.
Okay, so you'll need paper. You can have cardstock. I have cardstock here in just plain white. You'll also need a ruler, but the paper depends on the size of your frame. So if you have a very large frame, like larger than 8.5 by 11, you'll want a poster board for Walmart or the Dollar Tree, preferably matte on one side so that you can use that side instead of the glossy side for this. But for this, I just have an 8.5 by 11 size cardstock with my frame here. Now with my piece of paper, I am going to take out the backing from my frame that I have, put the rest of it aside for now, and with the backing from the frame, I'm going to trace the back of the frame onto the piece of paper so that I can get an exact measurement. Then obviously I cut it out so that I can start drawing on it. Put the rest of the side, and for this, I want to make sure that it fits. For this Bible verse that I'm going to do, it's going to come from Acts. I'm going to have it landscape, which is just horizontal. So I'm going to take the bottom of this candy jar, and I'm going to trace around the bottom so I can get a perfect circle for the boundaries of what I'm going to draw inside. So basically, I am going to draw two fonts. The first would incorporate they, broke, and a bunch of other later on words. So basically I start at the top and I start drawing out they in regular handwriting. Broke is going to be written in a kind of halfway adult handwriting and halfway kid handwriting. So the R is kind of going to be skewed a little bit, and the E kind of gonna be the same. Bread and the basically rest of the words are going to be in cursive, aside from the last couple of words. So we're just going to trace with a pencil at this point, so that we can go over it with pen or whatever marker of your choosing later. It's also okay if you mess up with the marker when we go over it with marker later. We can fix those. So basically this cursive font that I am drawing is the hand lettering from literally any pin for wall art or on Pinterest, or if you type in typography on Pinterest, you'll get a lot of this hand lettering typography on there. So you can basically use either your handwriting, or you can look up on Pinterest and try your best to copy it. I'm literally just copying it from my computer that I'm looking at straight onto the paper. That's why I pause every couple seconds. So now we're going to make multiple circles around the circle we already made. Messing up is okay. You can just erase it and draw a new one. So now we're going to draw leaves on the side, sort of like olive branches, and the leaves on olive branches. So we're going to draw those leaves on the side, which are basically kind of pointy ovals. We're going to draw that on one circle line out of the 3 that you're going to make. So we're going to draw a branch on the left and the right, and one down towards the bottom that is smaller. Now with your black pen, we're going to go over these leaves first. We're also going to fill them in as we go. So there are 2 fonts here. The first simple font we are going to do we're just going to trace over it, not make anything bold. If you mess up, that's okay. To make it more proportion, you can bold it. Now the simple fonts include they, the words they, broke, homes, glad, sincere, and the and symbols. Now in glad, I didn't go over the pencil that well, so I just bolded it a bit, and it's fine. Now for the cursive, we are going to start at the top curve and bold it down until it stops at the bottom for the B in bread. And basically the rule for all these curves is, for all these words, is at the curves, basically bold it. So in the R, we're going to bold the top right hand curve. The E, we're going to bold the left hand curve. The A, we're going to bold the bottom hand right curve and the little stem. And for the D, we're going to bold the left curve of the D and the left curve of the stem. For in, for the letter I, we're basically going to bold the entire letter. And we're going to trace over in. Just like in the letter D, in the letter B in bread, we're going to bold it the same way for the H's. But we're also going to include that hump in the bold. And go over the rest of the letters that we've already went through. Now, if we make a mistake and pencil is showing, we can erase it later. Or you can just fold over it. Now in this next word, for the T, we can either leave it straight or we can fold it, just like we did in the word there. Now for the T and together, we can either do the same thing, fold it, or keep it straight and simple. I'm going to fold it. For the O, we're going to bold the bottom right-hand corner. And I thought it'd just be easier to trace half of the word and then go back and fold. You can do either. You can do it halfway through like I did, or you can start by tracing everything and then going back and folding. But for the G, we're going to fold the top left-hand corner, the bottom right-hand corner. The rest of the letters we're going to trace over it and bold just like in the other words. Now with the word with, I didn't include a curve in the W when it meets the I, so I just went ahead and did that curve. If you mess up, that's alright. And for the last word, we're just going to trace over and bold, just like in all the rest. And the S, we're going to bold the bottom right-hand corner. Now for this next step, we are going to do these circles. We are going to place our palm directly on the table, and we're just going to move our wrist. We're not going to move our hand. This helps with forming the arc to make it more of a perfect circle, or attempt at a perfect circle. But try not to lift your arm, not your hand. There you go. And these parts where there's still pencil, you can either erase it, like I'm going to do now. And if you're going to do that, you want to do it in strokes. So you don't want to erase back and forth like you normally do when you erase words off of a paper. But you just want to do it in strokes like you see me doing, so as to not smudge. You can either do that or just leave it alone. Now we're going to put it back in. I'm going to clean my glass real quick. And it looks great. So basically all the startup instructions and materials are the same as what we did in the first wall art tutorial in this video. Now I'm going to put it portrait, basically up and down, because I like this style better. And I want to make a separation a third of the way down to separate the words. So I'm going to use the remnant as a guide to make a straight line, and then I'm going to go ahead and make my type font on the top, and then go ahead and write the cursive on the bottom 2/3. So again, these letterings can be found on Pinterest. If you type in typography, you basically find any font. I basically did a regular straight font for the top, and then for the bottom I found another cursive font that doesn't require bolding, which I liked. I could just trace over it at the end. Now for the spacing, I kind of ran out of room on the side, on the right side here, and so I'm going to indent on the left side and keep doing that for the second and third line so that it kind of looks uniform. So I indent again on the third line. My spacing between the second line and the third line was a bit off, so I'm going to erase the third line and kind of move it down a little bit more. Now for the fourth line, I'm going to make it uniform to the second line so that it kind of looks the same, or meant like it was supposed to be that way. For the fifth line, I'm just going to center the we and then make the last line big, just like the home. Now I'm just going to go over everything in pen, and again, as I said, nothing here needs bolding with the fonts that I had chosen from Pinterest. And just the words get black or of one color, and we're going to go back and put the line separating home from the cursive in a different color. Now, I chose green because I wanted it to kind of look like a plant-ish feeling to the little separation. So, what I did with the olive branches in the first wall art, I'm going to basically do over again in this one. So, I have one main branch, and then I have little branches coming off with the olive leaves coming out of those branches. And what I do to the right side, I do to the left side. So it kind of mirrors the placement of each branch and each leaf. So now I'm going to check the spacing in the frame and see if one side is the same distance from the sides of the frame as the other. So it looks like the left side is a bit too close compared to the right, so I'm gonna scooch it over. And it looks great. So here is the finished product. I hung it up in my parents' kitchen. And the second one I put on my mom's desk. So you can put these literally anywhere inside your house. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments what other DIY or pins on Pinterest you would like to see me do. Bye guys!